You do your time for the conspiracy. You come home. Situations happen. You find yourself with a gun charge.
When I came home from my conspiracy, I got locked up for...
How long were you home until you got locked up?
7 months.
7 months. After doing
4.
Damn. 4 years, 7 months later, you're now locked up. And this is for a gun charge.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you catch this gun charge, and this is kind of like where, I guess, the big story around that situation is the person you caught, a person you caught the charge with is saying you did bad, you saying he did bad. Meaning he's saying you told, you saying he told. Now, it's another situation. We have the paperwork here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're from the feds, so, well, you did time in the feds, so you big on paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
If you did tell, could you had survived up there? Like, do you see people survive in the feds and they're telling?
I'm saying you got certain people that slip through the cracks.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not saying it in a way where it's like, I'm not saying it for me, but I'm GD.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So it's like, our pedigree and that goes on with things like that. So it's like, I'm just not an average person.
Mm-hmm.
Or I wasn't just an average person. So I'm tapped in, like, especially when this situation was going on, it actually made me and a few of my childhood friends crash. Like, I see eye to eye. So it's people, it's a chain of command of people, to speak to. So it was like when all this was going on, I almost got tricked out of my spot because I was going to go to trial with this situation.
Yeah.
You feel me? And so by me about to go to trial, I wound up receiving a bunch of paperwork that I didn't already have.
Gotcha.
So
sorry to cut you off. All right. So the situation happens on October 9th, 2015, right? At 518 on Amboy Street and Blake Avenue. Now there is a shooting. Is anybody hit though?
No.
Okay, boom. Now as I'm looking at it, the names that I see is, I see you, someone named, is it Karan?
Yeah, it's K-Dot.
Okay. And then I see Raw, which is Brazo.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in that situation, Brazo saying you told on him. So, did people take Brazo's side, and why did they take his side?
Truthfully, like, you had, like, the situation with me and Brazo divided a lot of.
Mm-hmm.
You had a lot of people choosing his side just off of word of mouth.
Yeah.
You had certain people choosing my side just word of mouth.
Yeah.
You feel me? So you just had a bunch of things. You had a lot of people that stayed neutral in the situation.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? I was away for a lot of shit going on. I couldn't defend myself, and I had black and white. I could have pushed it to the town.
Why not do that?
You said why?
Yeah, why not?
Because I wanted to be here.
Yeah.
I wanted to be here doing it. Like, I wanted to be the person I don't need nobody to defend me. I could defend myself.
You wanted to actually go up to the person face to face. This is my black and white.
Yeah, like, this is me being real. You got black and white on me. I don't give a how cool we was, whatever. Post that.
Yeah.
Cause I'ma post you, no matter who you are. I'ma post you.
Yeah.
You did bad. For me, that's just what it is.
So I see here, these are some of the witnesses that was because you was gonna take this to trial.
Yeah, I caught that during trial.
Yeah. Why were you gonna take it to trial?
Honestly speaking, the only reason why I was gonna take it to trial is because, one, son played with my name.
Mm-hmm.
You heard? So I felt like that was like a pride situation. Like, I worked too hard to I work too hard for my name, bro. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, so when he started promoting that, and while different people was coming like, oh, yo, Mr. Yo, well, I'm hearing oh, the boy jacking what? Off the strength of that, I'm going to trial, and the underlying it, everything they was charging me with for that case, I didn't do.
Yeah.
Now that the case is over with, you heard? Okay, the gun is mine.
Yeah.
So my DNA is on the gun. So if I would have went to trial, I probably would have beat everything but blue to the gun.
Yeah.
Because my DNA was on the gun. Other than that, I didn't do nothing. And for me?
Yeah. Damn. Now, did that change how you went about things with people in the future? Yeah. And after that situation, did that change how you went about things when people asked for your assistance?
Only thing it changed was, it just, see, Brazo is just not an average friend or something like that to me, you heard? He's like a brother, considered to like a brother to me. We was raised like that.
Yeah.
For me, so experiencing that with a person as close like that, to me, would just help me learn to say and put myself first.
Yeah. Was he tough? Was he like...
Yeah, hell yeah. Bro, tough. He's like, even with our still situation, you heard, I'm like, I don't downplay him. I don't do none of that, you heard?
Yeah.
I give flowers. He's tough, bro. He's like that.
Where's he at now?
He's right now concentrating doing time for another case.
Yeah. Gotcha. And nobody knows about this?
A lot of people know about it.
How do they conduct themselves with him?
You got certain people that just throw shit on the rug. Like I said, like, this really my first time really, this is that. Like, you feel me?
Yeah. You know, being that it is your first time, you know, I kind of want to read the conversations he had and the conversations you had.
Right.
So I'm going to read the sentence and minutes of Brazo's. Now, let me just ask this. There's gangs in all neighborhoods or whatever the case may be. Is there ever, when people start getting these allegations on them, how is it handled? Is it handled with paperwork, or is it handled is it not?
So, like in the state?
Nah, not even talking in jails. I mean, in the streets, in the neighborhood. Like, do people actually say, okay, because I think the first time I started seeing people concerned with paperwork really was Code 33. Before that, it's just, yo, he ratted. But I never seen nobody really pull out paperwork in the middle of the streets on somebody. Maybe Kuda brought his paperwork to Vlad TV, but I think that's even after Code 33.
I feel like originally and morally you supposed to back the paperwork out if a person is jacking that they telling us something.
But that hardly ever happens though, right?
Yeah, because it'd be like word of mouth. Like, if I'm influenced, just like in our situation, both of us influenced, you heard? Influential, you heard? So it's like, people would just jack whatever he say.
Because it's him.
Because it's him.
Yeah.
You feel me? And I don't really jack that, even including me. Yeah. If I'm saying like, yo, bro, this person is a rat and I ain't got nothing to produce it, and whoever I'm saying is like, yo, mister, where that's X, Y, and Z at? Or just ask, I feel like people should be more open and be like, yo, let me see that work.
Mm-hmm. I think it's uncomfortable for a lot of people to ask for that. Because it's not, right? But I think it's similar to asking, it's just asking somebody that might make the person asking feel like, I don't want them to think I don't believe them. Like, I feel like the average person is a coward.
I feel like, I agree.
Word, you feel me? Like, that's a tough thing to ask somebody, bro.
I agree, but I feel like
if you tell me you my man and you tell me I ain't rat, and I be like, let me see your paperwork.
Jacking him. I'm jacking him.
You might, but the average person not. What you mean? You don't believe me? Think about it. If you say I ain't rat and somebody say yo, bro, let me see your paperwork. You come from a place where that is understandable. That's law.
For
but
example,
the average person is gonna take like they're gonna take it like, what you mean? You don't believe me? You don't trust me? No, I don't trust you.
I'll be honest on a situation. For example, right? The situation that's at hand that's going on right now, like the Tuwuti situation, right? Tuwuti is my little man. That's bro. You heard?
Oh no, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. I'm gonna use that for another, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
I just wanted to show the break it down. I just wanted to break it down like
why it's important.
Why? Right? So it's like when I first spoke to him and I first saw what I saw and I read.
Tuwuti, we talking about here.
Right?
Yes.
I immediately called him. Like, yo, bro, what's this for me? Before Code 33 posted whatever, I called him. Yo, bro, what's going on? He automatically get defensive. There's no reason to get like.
You see what I'm saying? That's the average person.
What I'm saying is this, right? What I'm saying is this. Okay, cool. You can get defensive. You all that, right? But I respect the person that's asking me up front. Not no that's gonna sit here backbite me or whatever.
I agree.
That's gonna come here like, yo, mister, yo, what's going on?
Yeah.
Why I'm hearing this, that, and third.
But I think, yo, it's crazy what I'm about to say. Because when I talk to my family, that's how I am. I cannot stand when people say things behind my back. That's why I always be like, I'd rather say things to people's face. There's less of you than, there's less people who want you to come at them directly on this planet. And there's more of the people who rather talk behind your back. That's not, like probably 90% of the world, they not saying things to your face. They gonna see Mr. Yo, what's good? You walk away, yo, I can't stand him, bro. I heard he this, I heard he that. But I appreciate your way because I know that at least you're genuine. If it's a problem, I know it's a problem. Right. If it's not a problem, I know we good. But other people, like even think about backdoor, the term backdoor. That's actually a coward term. It's a coward term. You telling me you gotta backdoor me because you can't do it in my, you can't do it with me. You can't. So we are now in our hoods, our culture is adapting to coward behavior because we just becoming worse. But I agree with your way. I agree that it's better. But you speak to Tuwuti, how does that conversation go? He's defensive, then what happens?
So it's like I said, I done been to the feds, I done been to the state, so I done saw wild different scenarios. And I also wanted to let everybody know, like, I'm just a person that, like, I'm not picking and choosing, bro. You heard? Yeah. Like, I don't put it past nobody, so I don't care if I knew you from Sandbox and I know your grandmother middle name and shit like that. It doesn't matter, you heard?
Yeah.
Once it's a situation like this, I'm doing my due diligence and trying to see what's going on. So after I done hit him up, whatever, he got defensive, whatever he talking about, like, yo, since when believe in police? Words. I gotta, like, look, when R.I.P. Senio Blue, when Senio Blue passed away, I think he told the police, like, fuck you, suck my dick or something like that, and he passed away shortly right after that, right? When they reported his last words was, fuck you, suck my dick, glorified him and jacked him for going out like a real jacked what police said, right?
Yeah.
And in this situation, bro been assaulted, and the police went to grand jury and testified that he told them what actually happened. You heard? Yeah. He's saying his defense is, since when believe police? The cop is lying. My perspective is, I don't, my opinion, right? But this is just what I'm saying. I don't just see an officer just, bro, that's a assault, bro. It's not a murder. That's not no other shit. Because if police was freely doing shit like that, how many people you think would be locked up for serious crimes, you heard?
Yeah. I get that. I see both sides.
I'm just not.
Because police do lie.
They do lie. I'm not saying that they don't lie.
Yeah.
Right? But what I'm saying is, I just don't feel in a situation like that, the officer just gonna go up there and just say, that he told him something like that on the stand when he ain't do that, bro. You heard? Like that's big, bro. That's not no small itty bitty. Yeah. That's a big situation. Like the case. Tuwuti now, like I look like this. The that stabbed Tuwuti, he could get a reversal just because of that right there. Yeah. And if Tuwuti jacking that, write that man an affidavit stating that he didn't do what he did. Write him an affidavit. That's a situation that me and Brazo had too.
Let me ask this. If he did write the affidavit that he didn't say that, he didn't do those things, could his name be cleared up? Because I believe, I don't know if it was this week or last week, his name has been getting smeared through the mud.
I'm going to be real. I haven't went on social and spoke about that situation. You feel me? Like I said, I try to keep it direct with me and son. But would it be clear? Like I said, it all real truly depends on what and how that situation play out. Like if, depending on if that cop got some type of audio, whatever that cop might have of him that can prove that this man told him this. You heard? Yeah. I just don't see that the cop just going up there saying that he told him this, that, and third. I done saw police do 1,001 crooked. You heard? Yeah. That's something I didn't
never seen that.
I'm seeing a lot of people put their inputs on police doing this, that, and third. I done see all of them do that in jail, like on some jail, but I never saw that on some court, like where a police done. Oh, this person right here told me he committed this body. You know how much time they could be doing shit like that, bro? They could do that to anybody, bro. Yeah. Yeah. Damn. I done saw them like wrongfully arrest motherfuckers. Yeah. And lie and say that they had something on them. But to go on a grand jury stand and say that this person told me that the person in this color jacket did this to me, it was like... Yeah. So...
Damn. So, now bringing it back to your situation, here comes the sentencing minutes. So, it starts with Mr. Shock. I believe that's his name. That's the DA.
Yeah, that's the DA.
Right? Mr. Washington, that would be Brazo. This is page 7. I'm starting it at line 4. Mr. Shock, Mr. Washington, if there's anything that you don't understand, just ask the attorney and I will rephrase the question. Line 8, the other individuals that you were acting in concert with, were they say your name, and then they say Karan, that is Mr. First, and then K. Second. Were you acting, line 12, page 7, were you acting in concert with those individuals charging this indictment? The defendant, which would be Brazo, line 14, yes. I guess that's where you have your issue with. I'm going to keep on reading, but Mr. Shock, have you discussed with your attorney what exculpatory evidence is and what exculpatory information is? Line 18, the defendant, Brazo again, yes. 19, line 19, Mr. Shock, are you aware of any exculpatory information, or are you in possession or aware of any exculpatory evidence with respect to your co-defendants? They name you again, Mr. and K. The defendant, no. I guess your issue is line 12, page 7. Were you acting in concert with these individuals charged in this indictment? And the line above that, 10 and 11, they listed you and K. And the defendant, Brazo's response to were you acting in concert with those two gentlemen, he said yes. That's where you have an issue with, right? Mm-hmm. Got you. So how was he supposed to... Now, you're saying because of this would indicate him taking his plea, saying that, yes, I was in fact acting in concert with Mr. and K. He was supposed to say no. He was supposed to, because he's taking a plea deal, he was supposed to say, matter of fact, I'll let you say, what was he supposed to say? How was he supposed to handle that?
So, when we was finding our situation, right, and we was arguing. Like I said, we was We was beefing. He had some internal situation going on at this time, whatever. He just got rearrested for attempt. He just got rearrested for attempt. So he was already on bail for the case that we caught.
Yeah.
So when he came back, when he got locked up, he probably got locked up like a few days right before we had court.
Yeah.
Mind you, it's been probably like a year that we've been going to court, and I haven't been seeing nobody. The last offer that I was offered was 8 years. You heard?
For that gun.
For that gun that we was fighting.
Gotcha.
That was the last offer that I've been for me. So when he got locked up, we was beefing over for me on the gate at court, whatever. And Free My Son Baller, he was talking to Baller and was telling Baller like, yo, he just took the charge. He ain't got nothing to talk to me about, whatever. He just took the charge.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, if you just took the charge, what? I'm going home. He like, yeah. Like, for me, you going home? I just took the charge. You ain't got nothing. To say.
This is Brazo saying this to you.
This is Brazo telling me this.
Yeah, I took the charge. You ain't got nothing to worry about.
Right. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm fake hype in the pen. So
yeah,
I'm on some like, I'm about to go home. I've been sitting up probably for like 18 months, probably close to 2 years.
Yeah.
I've been sitting up fighting this gun case, you feel me? So I'm like, oh, I'm going home. Bet you took the charge.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, how much time you took? So he like, now this is how it got escalated, because he started like, Mr. Stop acting like I don't know that they was offering you 2 years. You could have took the 2 years.
He's saying you was getting offered 2 years.
Yeah, so I'm like, I was getting offered 2 years. If I was getting offered 2 years, I fuck around and took it and got time served. You heard? Like, what? The last offer, mind you, I haven't been seeing nobody. You heard, bro?
Yeah.
So I'm like, what? He like, yeah. He like, but don't worry about that. I took the charge. So I'm like, all right, bet. I'm talking to an older dude that's from the east at this time in the pen with me.
Yeah.
Cause I was with him in Brooklyn House. He used to help me with my legal work. Like this and that. The legal work that I did have, he then probably read over that shit probably 3 to 4 times for me trying to help me. So me and him chopping it, and something tell me like, yo, I asked Brazo if he implicated me. So I'm like, yo, Brazo, like, yo, you ain't implicate me, right? He like, what? What you mean? I've been doing this job longer than you. You hear me? Like, I know better. So I'm like, I'm green. Like, for me, I should be going home.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm seeing this bus leave going back to the island, that bus leave going back to the island. And then they come open up my cage, they call cards, they call my name. I'm tight because now I know I'm going back to the island. I ain't see the judge, I ain't see nothing. I'm not thinking nothing of it, bro. You feel me? But how I found out that I was implicated was when we started our pre-trial hearings.
Yeah.
And the police testified, our arresting officer testified.
If you don't mind, at this point, is he doing his 2 years?
At this point, he's just going back and forth fighting his other case.
Okay, but he's telling you that you good. You have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, basically he's telling me like I should be going home. He took the charge. You feel me?
But when they start pre-trial, are you kind of like, yo?
By the time I start pre-trial, I realized that he didn't take the charge.
Yeah.
But I don't have no facts. Like, he's already going around telling people I told on him.
Oh.
You feel me? So it's like, I don't have nothing. Like, I'm not no fake to be like, all right, he's saying I told on him, so I'm going to say that he told on me.
Yes.
So, in between all that, and something jacking that I told on him, I just got to, for me, only thing that how I can prove myself is me going to trial.
Yeah.
For me, because if you saying I told on you, we got to figure something out. You heard? Like,
that's the only thing I can do.
That's the only thing.
Now, when you go to trial, like, so people might not know, you going to trial is what gives you the opportunity to get all your discovery.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. And if you took a plea deal, you wouldn't have all this information.
Yeah, if I'd have took a plea deal like before my pre-trial hearings and all that, I'd have never had none of this.
You start going. At what point do you realize all of this was done behind your back?
I realized all that right there was the day that I actually read this. So it was like, what happened? This was the day that we were supposed to be picking our jurors. No, I'm lying. Yeah, this is the day that we were supposed to be picking our jurors. And I'm in the courtroom. I'm sitting next to my colleague. This is Dot. I'm sitting right here. Dot sitting right here. My lawyer right here. Dot lawyer right here.
Yeah.
So the judge is talking. Mind you, I'm on fake crazy time at this time. Like, when I mean fake crazy time, like I'm on, like, at this time, I was jacking some called ISIS game. Like, if you was on an island and you was catching multiple shots, you feel me? You was jacking ISIS. You feel me? So I'm on fake crazy time. I got my, my kufi on, and I'm already was fed up with my lawyer. For me, so I'm thinking about ways of violating my lawyer. You heard? Because it's like I've been writing him wild times, calling him wild times, trying to get some type of legal work.
Yeah.
I don't have none. Only thing I have is my discovery and my indictment.
Was this a paid lawyer, public defender?
This is a public defender.
Yeah.
So I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
At the time I'm sitting right here to die, I'm really happy to be next to my bro. For me, he in the town, I'm in jail. So this right here is like a moment, like me just being right here. But reality is that I don't have no paperwork in front of me, and every time I look over here, that lawyer is showing him his paperwork through the iPad, and I'm seeing wild pages. Like he just keep going like this, and I'm seeing pages. So I'm looking at him, I'm looking at that, and then I keep looking at my lawyer. Now my lawyer had a stack pile like this big in front of him. So I'm sitting there, I'm looking at that lawyer, keep going through that shit. I'm not even paying attention to what the judge saying. But son tell me to just get on my bullshit. So when I get on I lean up for me and I just grab my lawyer paperwork. Boom. When I grab it and I see my name. So now that I see my name, it makes me extra like I see if I'd have grabbed the paper and it was probably other people's names and shit like that, I'd probably be in the wrong. But once I grabbed the paperwork and I saw my name on it, I was only right. I'm taking it. For me, like, it's mine. So my lawyer is trying to reach for the paperwork. And I'm like, bro, like, let me see this. I don't got no paperwork. Let me see this. So the judge telling us, shh, for me, you gotta be quiet, whatever. So we feel be quiet. So he like, yo, my lawyer's telling me like, yo, it's staples and shit like that. I will take the staples out and give it to you. Right? That's nothing. I don't care about that. I just need my, for me. So as I got the paperwork, I'm going through the papers. I stumbled. The first thing that catch my eyes was the paper where it says the witness list.
Yeah.
When I first...
Should I read it out?
Yeah, you can read.
Alright. So, the witness list shows who is to be called, witness to be called, or names likely to be mentioned during trial. So, there's a list of people. I'm not going to read all through the list of people, but the first part is people from 73rd Precinct. You got the fire department. You got the New York Police Department, the lab, firearms analysis, emergency service unit, EMS. Not EMS, my bad. Emergency service unit, detective squad. As we scroll to the back, these are not people who are part of New York Police Department or the fire department or the forensic. These are civilian names. I come across.
I just want to ask you a question while you're looking at it.
Yeah.
Do you see K-Dot name?
No.
Do you see my name?
No.
Do you see my other co-defendant name?
I see Brazo's name. He's one of the witnesses. One of the witnesses that were to be called or names likely to be mentioned during trial. To be fair, not saying,
right.
I'm going to say this. It's to be called or names likely to be mentioned during trial. The likely to be mentioned during trial, could that be this man said he was acting in concert with so this is why his name is on the list. Could it be that, or do you in your heart believe that this man was going to be a witness and speak against you?
All I can say is this, right? I didn't do nothing for anybody to speak against me.
Yeah.
Realistically, right? So I feel like his name probably could have been there on some names likely to be mentioned, right?
Yeah.
But if that was the case, K dot name should be there. My name should
That's
be there.
true. I didn't think of that. Yeah, you're right.
You feel me? So it's like,
Yeah.
our names likely to be mentioned in this.
Yeah,
this
we're
trash
all
shit
in
too.
this together. Yeah. Man.
Now that you said something about, oh, it's probably up there because he, for me, and his sentencing, he incriminated us like, oh, he acted in concert with us. So that right there, is that working in our favor or against us? That's working against us.
Yeah.
That's why they say you don't implicate your co-defendants.
Gotcha. Wow. Now, there's other girls up here. I see a Michelle Holmes. Can I read the other names?
Yeah.
I see Michelle Holmes. I see a Steve White. Who, you know that person? Okay. I see a Talasia Mercer, Shakira White, Vanessa Alibi. Now, to my understanding, this was a situation occurred where there was girls in an altercation first, right? Mm-hmm. Could I say that?
Yeah.
Okay, there was girls in an altercation first, and then y'all confronted the situation. Did you know these girls at any point?
I'ma be blunt. None of the females that you mentioned is any females that I per se chill around.
Yeah.
Or like I didn't even find out that what we was being locked up for stemmed over females. Like,
damn.
I just know that you my brother, you call me, I'm coming into this issue. I'm not asking you what, why, how. You get what I'm trying to say? You my brother, I'm coming.
Yeah.
Feel me? It transpired. How I find out that it's over females fighting is when I get my discovery, bro.
Damn.
I don't know if it's about females fighting and playing Captain Save-A-Ho. I don't know that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? So,
if because you say that, I ask this, and this might, if a friend of yours call you, right? I know he might be like, yo, come out, I gotta, most of us feel like, I can't be sitting here asking him why or bro, want me to come outside, I gotta come outside, right? After going through this situation, would you now ask why, or would you still handle it the same way you did back in 2015 when Brazo asked you to come outside?
I'm gonna be real, bro. No, not even call my phone. I'm not like that, but it's like me experiencing that situation with bro. Like I said, it don't get no closer to him. If he can do that to me, I don't even think past other niggas. You feel me? So it's like,
damn, man. So now let me read. We went through his sentencing minutes. Let's read yours, because his thing is you told on him. You saying no. In fact, he told on you. We read where he said, again, in his sentencing minutes, page 7, the other individuals that you were acting in concert with, were they? He names Mista and K Dot, and on line 14, Brazo says yes. All right, so I am gonna take a moment to read your sentencing minutes, but I do want to say this too. Now, in the feds, I know you said. Matter of fact, in the feds, how do they handle this?
So, like I said, in my car, I was in a GD car, and we have like legal coordinators, meaning that we have bros that's very good at, reading the law and going through paperwork. So, when I was going through the situation with Brazo, as I was in the state, but I was in communication with an older person I know from my hood, and he was in the feds. Yeah. So he basically told me like, "Yo, send your paperwork that you got to me, and I'm gonna have the brothers out in here look through it, and we're gonna get back, let you know what's what." Yeah. I do that immediately. He clears me. You ain't do. If you ain't do bad, whoever X, Y, and Z is, which is me, dude, did bad.
Got it.
He told, for me, he cleared my name in the streets.
Yeah.
This is why I'm still, if I was to did bad, I would not be jacking when I'm jacking right now.
Gotcha. So now, here's the thing, what I say. You know, I believe that the reason why a lot of people go off word of mouth is the real truth. Nobody want to accept it, is that people cannot read.
I agree.
They either can't read, can't comprehend, or like I've heard people say, yo, I don't like to read. Yo, listen, I'm one of those people that never liked to read. As I got older, I forced myself to read. Why? Because you gonna mess around and you don't use it, you lose it.
Right.
You feel me? So you better pick up some books and read. But sometimes in those urban areas, a lot of people in the hood don't like to read. So they ain't never gonna pick up this and be like, yo, let me see if Mr. told or not. Nah, they just going, yo, you say he told, you say, all right, that's about it. Mm-hmm. But boom, let's get to your sentencing minutes. My apologies, this is not the sentencing minutes, this is the grand jury, so we're gonna read this right now. Herzl is one between Strauss and Amboy. All right, is that right? All right. But there's a street there, whatever it's called. So you were about a block. You were about 2 blocks away from the corner of Amboy and Blake. Is that right? Yes, sir. And you heard shots. You give a nonverbal response. And I guess he's now asking you the same question over and over, trying to trip you up or something. Mm-hmm. All right. You give the same nonverbal answer to the question he asked prior. Then he asked again, and isn't it a fact that Raw Washington got in touch with you about, and it says it, but he meant about an altercation on Amboy? You respond, no, sir. Isn't it true that as one of the leaders of Hood Stars, Folk Nation in the area, that you had access to a gun? No, sir. And isn't it a fact that you got in that car at Howard and Sutter and that you went down Amboy and that shots were fired out of that car that you were in? You respond, no, sir. Isn't it a fact that the gun that was used to fire was recovered right at your feet in the back seat of this vehicle in People's Exhibit 8 and 9? You respond, no, sir. And that after participating in a shooting, you saw there were a lot of people there. You saw that there were people running. Correct. You were only 2 blocks away. No, sir. You saw the people running? No, sir. You saw the people on the street as we was driving past. When you heard the shots, did you see the children running? No, sir. Did you see anybody running? No, sir. Was the street empty? Yes, sir. Was there another white Jeep with a missing front license plate and missing a front left hubcap that went by? Not that I know of, sir. So you don't know anything about the shooting? No, sir. You ever saw the gun? No, sir. But the gun was recovered in the car, right? Yes, sir. The car that you were in? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, that's how did it come about that you knew you were going to be picked up by Raw Washington? What was your plan? How did you find out? Me and Karan, we called Raw, asked if he could drive us to the studio. He wanted to. Didn't have a permit or license. Karan said he had his permit, so he volunteered that he would let Karan drive and we could go to the studio. Alright, so do I keep reading the rest or
you really read through the nitty gritty of person?
Yeah, I mean it seems as if like
yeah.
you said no to, you didn't see the shooting, you didn't see the gun, you kind of said you was just driving by, never stopped. You heard shots, but y'all was doing your own thing. And I guess he's trying to get you to say that you were there, y'all stopped or whatever. He picked you up for a purpose and all that. How did they know that? How did they know that he picked you up and all that? Like, how did they know?
It was surveillance.
Gotcha.
So It was surveillance. Like basically, they saw when he left the altercation.
Yeah.
When he left the altercation and came to pick us up. Yeah, I think it was like a 15-minute or 25-minute time span from the actual incident to the actual incident.
Gotcha.
Like the females fighting to
y'all pulling up.
Yeah.
All right. So let me ask, K-Dot, where does he stand in all of this? Because he was the driver.
So
does he still talk to Brazo? Does he feel like Brazo ratted? Does he still talk to you? Does he feel like you told? Where does he stand?
Honest speaking, I don't know.
Come on, mister. You gotta know.
I know.
Ain't like, yo. Do you talk to K-Dot?
So me and K-Dot had an incident. Like we talk now. Like it's still bro. I still got his number. You know, shout out to K-Dot. Okay. Around this time we had an incident because I remember I was in jail and I was really like going through with the trial situation, and he was my co-D.
This situation?
Yeah, with this situation.
Gotcha.
And a lot of the bros don't be, like, they not legal smart.
Yeah.
You feel me? So a lot of, like, at this time, Dot didn't know what an affidavit was.
Yeah.
So I basically hit Dot up and like, yo, bro, I need you to write an affidavit. I also was writing Brazo, even though we was going through what we was going through, I also wrote him a letter like, bro, can you write me an affidavit basically explaining, like, where I was seated at in the car?
Yeah.
Because in all reality, we all would have beat the case if we all would have went to trial. Because police was so much on my that they was trying to basically put the whole situation on me.
Yeah.
So in our case, it was like, oh, I was the shooter. I was sitting in the backseat of the car, and this, that, and third. I had everything ready. I was ready for them. I had the outfit that I got locked up in. I had a long sleeve G-Star shirt. You feel me? So like what I was doing is I was about to give them my outfit. Like if I was the shooter, the ballistics would be on my clothes.
Yeah.
You feel me?
With gunpowder and things like that?
Yeah, gunpowder and stuff like that. That was 1, 2. I basically hit Dot up and told Dot, like, yo, can you write me an affidavit? Basically, like, look, you ain't got to mention nothing about Brazo. Just state where I was seated at in the V.
Yeah.
He thought, or he took it as if I was trying to tell him to basically do the bad. But in all reality, I'm basically just letting you know, like, yo, bro, I need you to write an affidavit, just basically staying where I was seated at.
Yeah.
Police is charging me with seating in the back seat. I just need you to confirm. He turned it, like, for me, like, oh, he felt that I was trying to get him to basically write a statement on bro.
On Brazo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the mix of all that, I could actually say I was wrong. For me going through wild emotions, I faked through the Frank at him while I was in jail.
Yeah.
For me, because like, the only way how I could really get out this situation is if be on some real timing, yo, ooh.
Yeah.
For me, so he took it like that. So I'm like, you know what, suck my like, this is just what it is. Ooh, we had our little words, like, but today, past, I done saw him after that. We still cool, like, feel me?
Yeah. The reason why
he done made songs too where he was like, oh, Mr. Ain't Tell, like, he done
okay,
like
so
that,
he believes you didn't tell.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what is his views on Brazo? And don't say you gotta ask him.
You have to ask him because
I knew he was gonna say that.
He's still in communication with son. Not saying that he don't supposed to be in communication, like,
yeah.
But it's still for me. So it's like, I don't know. I just know if you have been in jail, or experienced being in jail, I just want y'all to comment. Leave in the comment section if a Ipecaine, is that telling or is that not telling?
Yeah.
Because we all know what that is, bro.
Yeah. Damn. At this point in time, when was the last time you spoke to Brazo?
You know the crazy part is, because me and Brown, we did like a live probably like a month ago.
Yeah.
Let's just let's time out. Free Brazo.
Okay.
Right? Free Brazo. This ain't nothing personal, bro. This shit is just educational reasons, educational purposes. You feel me? But yeah, he called me. He called me like a month ago.
Yeah.
And we was basically not arguing but speaking on this.
Okay.
Where it was like it's almost like a debate going back and forth.
But what is there to debate if there's paperwork? With all due respect. Yeah.
Men lie, women lie, black and white don't, bro. So
Well, I was asked this. When obviously you had to read him that line where it says, I acted in concert with such and such. To that, what did he respond?
he was just going around that. I can't sit here and say it was on some like he did.
Yeah.
That's the situation. Was like, yo, Dot, yo, Mister, yo, get from under the car. We caught, bro.
So to you, right? To you, is that grounds for never, like, you're a rat? Or is that dry snitching? He made a mistake.
Like,
realistically speaking,
I feel like knew what they was doing. I just feel like from the argument that we had when we was in the pen and I asked him like, yo, bro, did you implicate me? Like, and he done like fake. What? I've been doing this job before. I know not to do that. So you are aware, you knew.
Oh yeah, that's true. Damn.
You feel me?
Because it's kind of like, so you know this.
Right.
So then it can't be a mistake. Because you know this.
Right.
Yikes. Does he admit to that conversation? Because he might just mess around and say, I never had that conversation with you because it's not on paper.
I just feel like, bro,
but did you ask, with that conversation, did you ever say, yo, bro, you said blah, blah, blah? I
can't really sit here and recall. But bro, we grown, bro. You know what they doing, bro. You've been doing this longer than me, right? I'm saying, like, from my robbery situation, I wasn't the only one on that robbery. Yeah. What I didn't know, like, I didn't know what implicating was, but I just knew it ain't sound right. When I was going to get sentenced to my 3 years or 3.5 years for my robbery, and they said, did you act in concert with X, Y, and Z? It didn't sound right to me. Yeah. I automatically whispered to my lawyer, woo. My lawyer wasn't jacking. My lawyer was trying to tell me that I had to do that. Yeah. I wasn't jacking that. I spoke for the record. Yeah. Listen, Your Honor, I take full responsibility for my actions. I'm not trying to cause nobody no harm, none of that. I take responsibility for my actions. Yeah. And that's what that was. So he got 2 years for that. I got 5 years for that, bro. Yeah. We both got around about the same criminal record. So, like I said, I'm not saying he got less years for anything or I got more time for anything. I'm just saying, realistically, he implicated me, which reason why I had to do time. Gotcha. If he'd have took the charge, I probably went home. Damn. And so 90, right? It's how your message to the kids: watch who y'all trust, right? Because in this same scenario, bro, while we was in the bookings, told me that he was trying to kick the hammer underneath my chair, bro.
What did you say to that?
What did I say to that? We was in 2 different pens when he said this. So when he said this to me, I'm like, what? Like, I'm on parole at this time. Yeah. I'm a face card. Police is on me, bro. So for me, like, what you mean you try to kick this underneath my chair, gang? Like,
he probably gonna say, listen, Brazel, if you hear this, I'm not picking sides, because that's the one thing everybody like to say. I'm picking sides, but I'm hearing Mr. out. But I can't see him admitting that. Like, I can't see him saying, yeah, I said that. He probably gonna say I never said that.
He gonna, like, one thing, I just feel like, look, all this right here, right? Yeah. My honorable, you heard? He's a stand-up person. He ain't gonna deny that.
Yeah, but what was his reason to kick the gun under your chair?
Let's just say to hide it. I'm gonna just say to hide it. I don't know, but I just feel like situations like that is just a little weird and awkward, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
So the situation happens, and they catch y'all before y'all even make it home.
for that, we got locked up in the V.
Damn. So it happens. Boom.
It happens
Y'all
like
probably got a block away.
2 blocks of that. 2 blocks on the left.
How did they? How?
Because they already was responding to the altercation.
Gotcha. Okay. Damn. And then there's cops always all around there.
Yeah. Like, see, that whole case was a fuck up case, bro. Like I felt like I could have beat it, but I probably would have blew to the gun because my DNA was on the gun.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
like I told you before, like when the officer testified for our pre-trial hearing, he said that he moved the gun from in between the back seat, like the back seat area of the floor, and placed the gun on top of the seat, the back seat, as he waited for ESU to come. He then said he proceeded to search the trunk area of the car where he found the shoebox at, and he done put the gun inside the shoebox and then transferred the gun that's in the shoebox to the police station.
Understood. That's your DNA. That's how the DNA.
Yeah, my sneaker, like a few days before that, I forgot what Jordans that just dropped, but I bought the Jordans that day, and I kicked off the sneakers that I had with my old socks. Yeah. I bought those Jordans and a pair of socks and threw those on right then and there. Left the shoebox in the car ever since.
Gotcha.
So when police came and when we got locked up and all that, when the police put the gun and did all that, they basically tampered with evidence. So okay. I feel like I had a strong fight. The only thing that they had that I knew was possibility of me blowing trial was my DNA being on it. And to be real true, the judge himself told my moms that if I blow trial, they was going to give me every day of the 15 years.
Damn.
Or like my mom, she was going through some health situation at that time.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I wasn't even looking forward for my moms to even come to court for me.
Yeah.
But my moms came to court. Like the day that we supposed to pick our jurors.
Yeah.
The judge, like basically like made everybody go on lunch, whatever, so I could get time to speak to my moms and shit.
Okay.
And then when I was speaking to my mom was like, yo, listen, the judge and them already made up their mind. They said they're going to give you every day to 15 years. They saying take this 5 years, whatever they're going to give you. So I'm like, 5 years? I'm like, man, they're not offering me 5 years. They offering me 8 years. They're like, listen, they just told me 5 years. I was doing the calculation in my head. I'm like, yo, 5 years. I got like 2.5 in at this time. If I go up there, I got to do 18 months, whatever. So I was thinking about it, but then again, I'm on like, oh, I got him. This is the most I ever, like, usually I'm always locked up for some shit that I did.
Yeah.
I'm actually locked up for some shit I didn't do. You feel me? So I felt like I got them. Like, this is that. Anybody that's in the streets, not saying they pray for that, but being in a situation where you 90%, 100% innocent, it's like, yeah, I got them. This is a lawsuit. Every day I'm here is that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I'm thinking. You feel me? So when they put me in the back, like, yo, my lawyer was like, yo, did you get a chance to speak to your mom? I'm like, yeah. I said, listen, the DA, they got 5.5 for you. I'm like, 5.5? I just told my mom it was 5 years. Because I took about 5.5.
Yeah.
Mind you, I'm ready to do it to my lawyer because I told you he's been keeping the paperwork and all that shit from me. I already took it from him and shit like that. So I'm already been talking to him crazy. I've been trying to get him to reach out there because I wanted to do something to him. So I just kept like...
What was you going to do to the lawyer?
I ain't going to lie, like, God forbid, if I done went to trial and out of blue, I think I probably would caught some more time because I probably shot my lawyer, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'd have did something to him. Like, that's how I was feeling. I was really in a dark place at that time. Like, you feel me? I'm thankful that I grew out of that shit, but, yeah, when he was trying to tell me 5.5, I'm like, yo, I had 5.5. My mom just told me 5 years.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I really want 4 years. You feel me? Like, I really want 4 years.
Yeah.
Whatever. So he like, listen, I'm gonna go speak to the DA. Whatever. For me, he goes spin back. The nigga came back. The nigga had me mad when he came back, cause he came back. He like, yo, listen, consider today your second birthday. They got 5 years for you. Like, what? Suck my dick. I start wilding him up. That's my dick. You told me consider today is my second birthday. Cause you talk. Oh. You feel me? Whatever.
Yeah.
I come out there. That's when I takes the 5 years.
Yeah.
Whatever. But
yeah. It's crazy because you come off so calm and chill. So when I think about you in those moments, I'm like, yo, that's crazy, son. Like, people really have switches. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could be cool, but if my back is against the wall, it's a different Mista. You know what I'm saying?